things did not work out well for John Constantine at all. So, at the end of Justice League Dark Apokolips War, everything's gone to shit. Half of the human population is dead. I think like the planet's rotation speed had slowed down. Batman theorized that there was going to be like a brand new ice age. Half the heroes were, I wouldn't even say half, 80% of the heroes were dead. Out of the 20% that was left, like 90% of them were like half apocalyptic robots. Shit was bleak. And Constantine goes to the Flash and he's basically like, look here, mate. The situation, it's not going to get any better. We're kind of buggered off. So what you need to do is run back in time and clear the board. Basically, he tells the Flash to go and do another Flashpoint. And Barry Allen's like, oh, I can't live through another Flashpoint, man. I'm going to be the only one with these memories. And Constantine's like, look, bro, you ain't got no choice. So Barry Allen does what he does best. He hauls ass into the past, and the universe gets reset. And that's where Justice League Apokolips War ended. Constantine, the House of Mystery, takes place literally maybe 2 minutes after the end of Apokolips War, where essentially we see Constantine just get plucked right out of the timeline and thrown into the House of Mystery. Now, the House of Mystery is usually, it's used as not only a hub that Constantine uses to interact with different magical entities, but it's also low-key his house. And the same thing keeps happening over and over and over again. He gets into the House of Mystery, he sees his friends and his loved ones, they turn into demons, they kill him, he gets reset. If you ever seen Doctor Who, what is that, Heaven Sent? The one where essentially he gets trapped in the time dial and he constantly has to relive that day, and every time he dies, he basically respawns from the beginning. This is that. And he's trying to figure out who exactly has done this to him. Now, I like this. It's only 30 minutes. It's like an episode of Young Justice Phantoms, which I'm going to talk about really soon because that is fantastic writing from the Young Justice crew. But it adds so much. Not only does it add so much, it's also like a funny wrinkle / hiccup. And so this is spoiler warnings going forward. Talking about different aspects of the episodes. If you don't want to be spoiled about this movie, this is where you cut off. Know that this is a great adaptation to Justice League Dark, but if you want to stay for the spoiler part, this is where the spoiler part begins. So, the person who throws Constantine into the House of Mystery is the Specter. And the Specter's reason for throwing Constantine into the House of Mystery is absolute bullshit. Because he says that this is punishment, an eternal lifetime of punishment for Constantine messing with the timeline. To which I said, Specter, at no point in time throughout DC Comics can I remember, outside of the Arrowverse, can I remember you going and arresting Barry Allen and then throwing Barry Allen in space jail. At no point in time does the Specter do this. Barry Allen runs around and resets the universe like every Tuesday. So for the idea of the Specter to be like, yeah, man, Constantine, you broke the timeline this one time. Can't have it, man. You gotta go to eternal jail in the House of Mystery forever. Absolute fucking bullshit. And Constantine more or less calls him out on that shit. He's like, you're not the arbiter of like overall justice. So he starts hatching a plan. And the plan is to basically bring in the 3 demons who hate him the most, since they have the juice, to punch through Specter's spell. And basically, he's going to swap places with them. They'll be trapped in the House of Mystery for an eternity. And then he can bugger off to the new universe that was created when the Flash ran back in time. But then, the Specter snatches him up again. And this is actually what I kind of like, because you would think that this was a punishment. And the Specter explains that it wasn't a punishment. Essentially, the Specter saved Constantine because he saw that Constantine did sacrifice everything to save the universe, and he put him in the House of Mystery so that he can basically be with his friends. But Constantine's, essentially his consciousness, didn't want him to be happy, so his consciousness turned his friends into demons that constantly killed him over and over and over and over and over again, which would explain why if he ever defeated those demons, he was instantly killed by like some other random bullshit. Forgive me, it's tea. As you know, I'm sick. So they're in space, and I think he called it like the null void, where reality can be formed and disassembled, the space between worlds, yada yada yada. Here's the interesting thing. Specter was actually trying to save Constantine from judgment. And the person trying to pass judgment on Constantine was the universe itself. Now, universe, listen to me. Universe. There are these things called speedsters. And they have been fucking up your timeline for like the last 50 years. Constantine doesn't even, he's the one who suggests the Flash run back in time, but he's not the one who ran back in time. You didn't arrest Barry Allen, you didn't arrest Wally West, you didn't arrest Wallace West, you didn't arrest Eobard Thawne, who fucks with the timeline on a regular basis. You arrested Constantine. Why? Did you look to see how fucking bleak your timeline was? Your timeline was bleak as shit. The Green Lantern Corps was dead. Trigon was released. Darkseid had the anti-life equation. He was wiping out worlds, conquering other worlds, destroying whole galaxies. Like, universe. If any timeline needed to be reset, it was this one. And the end of the episode, well, the end of the movie, even though it feels like an episode, essentially ends with the universe swallowing up Constantine for his punishment. What his punishment is, we do not know. But I am interested in something, because there's an art shift that happens in this episode, where it starts off with the art that they use in Apokolips War, and then it swaps over to the art style that they've been using for the most recent Flash movie and Superman movie. And I don't know whether or not that was a hint that that's what the universe has essentially turned into, that this new art style and this new universe that we've seen in these recent movies are essentially the rebooted universe that spawned from the collapse of the Apokolips War universe. But I don't know. Like, I have no clue, because the way in which it ends is Constantine gets sucked up, and he's like, he looks into the void, he sees something, and he's like, oh, hell no, like, send me back. He's like, put me back in the whatchamacallit room so I can get torn to shreds with those other fucking demons. You're not sending me there, but he gets sent there anyway. And I enjoyed it. Like, it was 30 minutes. I kind of wish it was a little bit longer, but at the exact same time, I feel as though it was a great addition / companion piece to the Justice League Dark Apokolips War ending. That ending was super bleak. This kind of ends super bleak with a little twinge of hope. Matt Ryan comes back, and I think he's fantastic as Constantine. I loved him in the Arrowverse. I loved him when he was doing the animated stuff, and I still love him here. He's probably the closest we'll ever get to a Constantine on screen that is super close to his comic book counterpart. Camilla Ludington returns as Zatanna. Dope as hell. I'm hoping that she returns as well, and I'm honestly hoping that we end up getting a continuation of this entire thing. Like, I enjoyed the last stretch of DC animated movies. Some of the more recent ones have been hit or miss, but for the most part, everything leading up to Apokolips War was dope as hell, and I really hope we get to see it again. But go ahead and check out Constantine, the House of Mystery. It's really, really good. I think you'll enjoy it if you enjoyed Apokolips War, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.